What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the DB show. We are doing our live watch along QPR Bromley or Bromley QPR, whatever way you want to say it. But welcome in, good evening. It's our second to last watch for pre-season friendly watch along. It is. We got Bromley today. I can't remember what the stadium is. I think it's the Copper Jacks Community Stadium. So do forgive me if I have put that wrong. So yeah, but it's been a great preseason so far. We got two more. We actually got a great weekend of sport this weekend for live streams for our channel. So we got today v Bromley, we got tomorrow's live stream as well, and then we got the DB show on Sunday for our latest news. As you know, we keep it real here. Straight away, look, the dog knows. So let me try. Oh, wait, come here. Sorry about that, people. Yeah. Oh, is this dog gonna go on? Stop. Relax. So yes, what I was saying, yeah, we got Wimbledon tomorrow. We do, and obviously Bromley tonight. We do. I'm just gonna turn this down so that you guys don't hear that. There we go. So team news. Actually, let's start with the team news today. And I'll get it through to the comments in a second. So obviously the teams were announced just about, I think it was 18 minutes ago. I think it was. I'm just gotta find it again. I do apologize. And I don't know why it's gone into images. What the fuck? QPR team news. Sorry, people. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Right. So for today versus Bromley, we got Charles in goal, Adamson right back, Don Clark Sora in centre back, Kemper left back, Morgan and Isaac both in midfield. So that's going to be interesting. Saniolo plays with Chair and Smith, and Lloyd up front on his own. On the bench, Warren is on the bench. Akadinelli, great choice for that. I can't wait to see him. That's a good shout to give him a test. Putman, Lakesh, Ikuroa. I don't know who that is, but apparently it's a youngster coming up into the ranks. Pearman on the bench, good to see that. Scarlett and Sutton. So an exciting lineup. Obviously it is against Bromley. So yeah, absolutely chuffed to see us trying something different as well. Different team. Obviously we're going to see more tomorrow, probably against a tougher opponent in AFC Wimbledon. So yeah, but that's the team. Who got a chat? We've got Harvey saying, yo, Seed, everyone liked the video. Thank you, Seed. Good to see you two both. Chris, come on QPR. Thank you, Chris. Much love. Jack Boy, my goat is live. Cheers, Jackie. Appreciate for that. H Football, good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Dog knows we are getting the win. Well, if we lose against Bromley, there's going to be a lot of grief for QPR on Twitter. I tell you that, and it's not me that's going to do it. Lewis up the Brom. I'm guessing you're a Brom fan. No worries. Thank you for tuning in. But yes, listen, look. Today is not the end of the preseason friendlies. Like I said, tomorrow is the last preseason friendly, and then it is down to the nitty gritty. We have Millwall in the Carabao Cup next week, which is going to be really good. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I don't know about you when it comes down to football, but as the season gets closer and closer, I get the jitters. I do. I can't wait till the season starts. Honestly, I've missed it. I've missed watching QPR. You know, pride and joy, as it says there, and passion. So yeah. Westwell, Pete, good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're all good. Thank you for tuning in. Grief will be those negative Arse fans. Listen, look, you're always gonna get the negative ones, positive ones, whatever they are. Look, we all know who they are. And at the end of the day, it's that simple. You know, you just gotta let them be. But yeah. Going Mill. Are you going Mill? Because I'm not going. I'm going to stay here and watch it for you guys on the watch along. So yeah. The Tesco boys, your food is nice. Why did you raise the meal deal price? I'm guessing that's some sort of thing for Bromley. I'm guessing. But look, anyway. Look, there's obviously news. I put out a video this morning. Hopefully you lot have watched and hit the like button on it. So Daniel Benny goes out on loan to Dundee. Great move for him. I'm actually looking forward and positive. Difference between this season, we're going to do our best to chase up loan signings that have gone out on loan. So that's what we're going to try and do. We're going to do something like the loan report or something like that, and we're going to go through there. So fingers crossed, you know, we get some other people go out on loan. Obviously, we've had a couple of development sides, but we already have a development guy that does all that stuff. So shout outs to him on Twitter. But we're going to focus on Daniel Benny a lot. 'Cause you guys know I highly rate Daniel Benny. I think he's brilliant. You know, I really like Daniel Benny. I'm hoping this leads to another Eze situation. You know, he's at the right club, and I just want to see first team football for him. That's it. So Daniel Benny's gone. Obviously, Mystic DB, as always, like I said today. I did say Elijah would leave. I did say it would be a termination of contract or something like that. And it's happened, but it's happened real early than I thought. So hopefully all the best to Elijah. Yeah, so. But Santos as well. I'm actually very surprised that Santos is gone. Just because, obviously, I thought he would be given another opportunity. But it looks like Julian is not having it. So look, we've got some gaps to fill in some of these players that we've let go. Obviously Wage is gone, saved, I should say. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to see what we do. You know, obviously Kamara hasn't been announced yet. It's been said that we've agreed a loan move for him. So yeah, Kamara's the only one. This Oxford guy, I'm not too sure what's going on with him. It's been dead quiet for the moment with him. But also, you know, there was a lot of talks about this guy that Cardiff and all of them lot were trying to chase. But I think that's just all rumours. I think that's because we wouldn't be bidding 8 million or paying 8 million for a player. I'm going to be honest with you. The most we're going to be paying is 3 million, 4 million. So yeah. And that's the add-ons as well. So yeah. But that's all the latest news at the moment. As you can tell, I hope you this is going to be the new thing now, as you can see in the background. So obviously this is going to be the main thing for the DB show now. Hopefully you really like it. We actually have some others for the new season, which we're starting to fix now. So this is going to be something different as well. Up the watch along one a little bit, but I'm happy with it. I'm generally happy. Look, we have 3, and we also got the DB show, which is going to be the main one. So hopefully you will like that. Any news on Luke Chambers and Harry Amas? That's a good shout, Jackie. Look, I think the Amas one is someone that I'm really interested in, but I don't see it happening. You know, we're probably going to get priced out of it. 6 million is a lot, unless we put add-ons onto it and stuff like that. But I would sit here and say the one that we might obviously end up getting down to the end of the line is Luke Chambers from Liverpool. You know, obviously, it's a bit weird how that story came out when a certain someone left the club and obviously wanted to buy a part of Liverpool in that consortium. So I would probably see Luke Chambers coming out on loan to us instead of Harry Amas. I don't see Harry Amas coming out on loan anymore. It's going to be a permanent sale. If anything, look, when Michael Carrick says something, he means it. So unless we're going to pull our finger out of our asses for Harry Amas, then yeah. But I would love Harry Amas at the club. You know, I'm a big fan of him. So yeah. The team's coming out now anyway. Tyler Morris, I think it is. That's with Andy sitting and doing the commentary, so that's not bad. Oh, the reason why you can't. Yeah, you can't hear me because I haven't added the mic onto it. So like I said, I'm still working on things and all that. But let's go over to the watch along screen. You lot can probably hear me on this. This is the watch along screen, what we're going to do today. Probably for the rest of the season now. Obviously, we're going to improve it a little bit before the season. But yeah. What's the predictions for today, boys and girls? What's the predictions for today? I just got to make sure that that's done. Any news on the Norway lad? Is that the guy that Cardiff have been pursuing? Harvey saying 5-1. Jackie Boy saying 1-0. Okay. Not bad. I'm gonna go with a nice 4-0 QPR. I reckon we still got a good strong squad out there. If we do lose, I'll be flipping very surprised. Alright, we got a training gear from last season on Cardiff. Yeah, so I don't see it happening, mate. I'll be honest, 8 million is a lot of money for QPR. I just don't see it happening. Alright, it's gonna be an interesting game, people. Interesting game. Yeah, look, he's a very interesting player, Jackie, but I don't see it happening, mate. I'll be honest with you. He's too much money, man. Honestly, I would probably see him go to Wrexham or something like that. It's not about how much money we have. It's about how much money we can spend, in the sense of like when we talk about financial stuff. It's more majority to do with, we have a certain amount of budget a season, and that's not just like a wage budget and a transfer budget. That's all together. So we gotta be careful with what we do, and you know, free agents is one of them things why we dig into there. All right, it's about to kick off. Ilyasha on the kickoff. And here we go. Charles pushes up straight away already, and is thumped it up to the right corner. Alright, Bromley on it now, clears it away. It's going to be a bit of a different half, with obviously seeing Clark Salt and Jimmy Dunn both together on the pitch. And it's a good ball by Charles, but a bad touch by Chair. And Bromley comfortably on the ball now. Alright. We're pushing on. It looks like we're not putting that much pressure on them at the moment. We're allowing them to play their ball at the back of the areas. I feel like I've been at this stadium before, I'm not going to lie. Alright, good head back there by Adamson. QPR Ryan, good to see you, mate. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, mate. How are you? I'm good, man. Thank you for tuning in. Teddy, what do you think the Mill score will be? Oh, what, next week? Well, let's say this, right? I can't sit here and say it's going to be an easy game, just because obviously it is Millwall. Millwall are a tough opponent for us, for sure. And I honestly believe, I reckon, I want a cup run, but I'm not going to predict it until the end, until Friday. You know what? When we do our preview show, obviously our preview. Oh wow, okay, hang on. Bromley's on the attack here. What, we're going to run it back off of Isaac. And it's one back by Clock, so a good play there. Much better passing there. Yeah, I'm not going to predict the Millwall game just yet, because obviously I want to make sure on what we have available. But look, it's going to be a tough game against Millwall. You know, oh, 1-0 QPR. Great cross by Amadou and Bengay, I think that was. No, it's not. It's Sanilou. Sorry, my apologies. Ilyasha scoring, no. Good goal, 1-0. Great start. 2 minutes gone. And you can hear the crowd, actually. QPR crowd, jeez. But yeah, Ilyasha getting his first goal pre-season. Good goal it was. Looks like he's made a good friendship with Boy Kemper there. Yeah, man, always gonna tune in. Do you think we're announcing? I don't know what's going on with Kamara. Something must be stopping it, because I know obviously something was posted, but I don't know why. But yeah, I'm not too sure with what's going on with Kamara. There might be some sort of negotiation with the loan. So yeah. Teddy says, as Millwall, I want to lose because I want to focus on the league. Look, you know, I want a cup run, and I also do want to see QPR obviously do well in the league. And I understand that everyone's, you know, what Millwall fans and all that. But at the end of the day, you know, look, the Carabao Cup might not be important to certain people, but it's still a cup in my opinion, you know. And I just generally still think it could be, you know, a big thing for us to have a little cup run, you know. Chip off the old block, good to see you, thanks for tuning in. I just gotta get this one. Yeah, there we go. Bringing in BDK. Yeah, look, I don't know what's going on with BDK at the moment. Look, it's been very quiet so far with them rumors. If you want me to be honest with you, is it 2-0 already? It's 2-0 already. What the hell's going on? I missed it. I didn't know who scored. Who scored? Alfie Lloyd scored. I need to see the replay of this. Tigana, good to see you, mate. Thanks for tuning in. Right, it was a mistake by Bromley. Ilias share. Oh, what a ball by Ilias to see Alfie Lloyd. And it's a good goal. It's actually a brilliant goal, honestly. Good finish. Bit of a collie finish right there. Good turn on Alfie. Good to see him on the score sheet. 2-0. Absolutely brilliant. I've got to refresh the stream because for some reason it's frozen. It keeps freezing. Let me refresh the stream. Hang on. Watch live. There we go. It was Alfie Lloyd to go on Alfie Lloyd. All from Charles, that is. Yeah, mate. Ryan, look, Charles, look. I said something about it in the video I did about Charles, and I think I pissed a lot of people off about, obviously, because, you know, a lot of people like Joe Walsh. You know, I like Paul Nardi, but bloody hell, dog, what are you doing? Yeah, there you go. You say hello to everyone. Look, go on the bed. There you go. Chill out. Oh, someone's gone down with an injury here. Hopefully it's not bad. It's Paul Smith. Sorry. Yeah, do you know what? I said something on a couple of weeks. I think it was last week. I'm not too sure. I can't remember. But I said that, you know, what he's done, Julian, with the keepers, you can actually see why he's done it now. There is a big difference. 110% is a big difference. And I like it. I actually do. You know, as much as I like Paul Nardi, you guys know how much I like Paul Nardi. But I feel like there's a difference in the way that he wanted to play, and they couldn't do it. I think he's right. You know, I don't think them guys could play the Julian way, if that makes sense, because what I'm seeing right now is a lot better than what we saw last season with the goalkeepers and the defense, you know. So yeah, unless it's a new thing that he's trying, I'm not too sure. West Hoppy is crazy. Alfie is going on loan again. Is he to Ghana? I don't know. Where are you getting your information from? Right, QPR comfortable on the ball at the moment. Boy Kemper on the left. Looks like Paul Smith is fine. Just walking it off. You got Isaac in the middle there. Paul Smith. Okay. But if he is going on, do you know what team he's going to? Because if I hear it's going to another, like, lower division, like League 2 or whatever, I won't be happy with it, to be honest. Ryan says, honestly, we look class, very excited for the season. I am too, man. Honestly, look, I'm not getting overhyped with it in the sense of promotion or whatever. You know, it would be nice, but I think that everyone that said Julian out are gonna probably eat their own words, if that makes sense. So yeah, he told me about Benny loan a week ago, and it happened Thursday. Okay, well, to be honest, I'm happy that Benny's gone out on loan. I am. So yeah, I'm really happy. It's and you know what? The best thing about the Benny loan is that it's actually at a club that is competition. So Where I mean by he's gonna hopefully get first team football as well as being in a big league. You know, Dundee United, big Scottish club. You know, and hopefully he gets his game time. You know, clearly they see something in him. Like I said, Ryan, look, it's Julian's season this season. It's all about Julian. You know, I said this at the start, man. I really did. You know, and I did say to you guys that if there is a letdown, I'll be honest with you guys. I'll agree with you guys if something goes wrong. So yeah. Andy, good to see you, mate. Cheers for doing this live stream, bro. On my break at work here in Dubai. Only just tuned in, but saw we're 1-0 up already. Can you update me, please? Well, to be honest with you, I haven't updated myself. It is actually 2-0. My apologies. It is actually 2-0. Alfie, so first goal was scored by Ilya Sher. Saniolo on the right wing getting the assist. Squaring it into the box for him. Good finish on the left foot, I believe it was. And then Ilya Shah got the assist for the second goal. Goal scored by Alfie Lloyd. So Alfie Lloyd had an incredible pass and move, if I can say that. So yeah, Jackie Boy just reminded me to update the score. Thank you, mate. Much love and appreciation on that. It's whipped in by Amadou. Oh my god, Alfie Lloyd just miss. Is it Amadou? I keep getting confused with players there. It's not Amadou, it's Sanayulu. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly, man, honestly. There we go. Score updated anyway, but this young right winger looks pretty decent, you know. Looks pretty decent. Got a good ball on him. So yeah. He looks like a strong, like a unit, bruv. I'm not gonna lie. He looks like a unit, number 40 does, Saniulu. How the hell is it he's not, mate? Probably just the sun in his eyes. Oh, Alfie Lloyd chasing it. Unlucky. 2-0 already. Wow. So what are we doing? Playing different start 11 tonight and tomorrow. So yeah, I think it is. I think tonight is going to be this 11. And obviously there is players that are not even on, like, you know, Kone or anyone like that, you know. So yeah. Jack, but I don't know when Kamara's getting announced, to be honest. I don't know what's going on. There's no hold up. I think right now, if you want my honest opinion, Tigana might be the best person to ask on that one. So yeah, I'm not too sure. Oh, it's an unlucky ball there by Kieran Morgan. Yeah, Saniolo is looking like a unit, to be honest. So yeah. HS more. Do you think there's gonna be a goal between the 10th and 20th minute? I have no idea, but right now we're on the attack with Ilya Sher onto the wing to Boy Kemper. Unlucky there. Good thinking there. It's been cleared away. Listen, look, it's probably resting him for tomorrow because tomorrow is a tougher opponent in Wimbledon. So yeah, this is a light look. I would rather you give, like I said before, I'd rather you give it some running time to academy players, to clubs lower division or in that category, if that makes sense, you know. Boy Kemper on the ball now. Guys, I don't know if he's still in the chat, but I think Tigana does some QPR stuff as well. So go give him a look at, go give him a shout, and yeah, go see what he does, man. Honestly, because I think it was on TikTok on a couple of days ago, probably, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully I'm right. I do apologize if I'm wrong, Tigana. I do apologize if it isn't you. If it is, yeah, go check him out. Honestly, he's doing some QPR content. It's really good, man. Tigana says Kamara will be announced on Monday. Listen, look, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Tigana sounds like he knows the business, so go give him a follow, man. Honestly, you might know it before. You might know something before. He might know something before me. So yeah. How's Boy Kemp looking? He's looking good. I wouldn't say he's been great at the moment, just because obviously he hasn't really been involved in the game. But yeah. Long ball, but unlucky there. Boy Kemper on the ball as well now. Good ball into Chair. Oh, it's an appalling shot by Chair. Jack Precise says, as there any free agents we should have a look at? I don't think. Well, actually, there might be. I think there's one guy that I think might be a good shout, but I need to remember the name. Ryan says, what was that thing that QPR TikTok posted and deleted? I don't know what that was about. Told announced this weekend. It probably, look, it could be announced tomorrow. You never know. I don't know what's going on. We all know it's going to happen at the end of the day. But I think right now what we need to focus on is look, is what is going on with Maddison. You know, there's not been any serious note on Madson's injury. I'm hoping it's not serious, but yeah, that's my most worrying thing. Look, if Maddison gets injured, then it looks like we're gonna have to rely on Kamara a lot more in midfield. So yeah, but I think if we do bring in another centre mid, it would be great. Obviously, it has been announced by Thingy that we are looking to bring in 2 centre mids. So yeah, I hope we also get Brian to see, because it's been so dead quiet. I don't know what's going on with him. But I also think that you got to remember there's European teams after him as well. So whether he wants to play in the championship or go across the pond or whatever you want to call it, you know, it's up to him. But it's been dead quiet on that mark. You know, I know we're interested in other midfielders. The Diakite one apparently went quiet for a bit, but we still are chasing some of it still. So yeah, we don't know what's going on. So yeah, we're in talks with 2 midfielders, but I think it was only be Kamara. Yeah. Mick says, yo DB, how you doing, Mick? How are you? Are we playing 4-4-2? No, we're playing 4-2-3-1, I think. But we are looking like 4-4-2 now with Ilya Sher next to Alfie Lloyd on defense. So yeah. Mick said who scored. It was Alfie Lloyd scored the second, and the first goal was Ilya Sher. Ilya Sher got an assist, and I think Sanayulu got the assist on the first one. So yeah. Isaac on the ball. Cheers, chip off the old block. Much appreciated. Alright, it's a good ball down the wing. Can we get it in? Nope, it's just gone out for throwing. Greetings from Australia, Maury Sinclair. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're okay. I bet you're going crazy about obviously the what they call it, the ownership. If you are a Marina fan, so yeah, I think we should have gone after Ross Barkley. Ooh, that is a good shout, but it's wages to Ghana, mate. The wages might have been really high. You know, I don't know how much he was getting paid at Villa. So yeah, that is a good shout though, man. Chip off the block says G-Day, mate. I don't know what that means, mate. I don't know what it means. Will Smallbone. That was it, Jackie. That's the name. Sorry, I think it was Smallbone for Southampton. I think it was him. That was the free agent that I was thinking about. So Will Smallbone would be actually a good signing, to be honest. You know, in midfield wise, you know, he does look like John Joe Shelby, but you know, hopefully, you know, you never know. But Julian might look at the international market. You never know. You never know. And it says, do you think we'll start with full strength team against Millwall? If I was Julian, I would probably say at home, I would probably say yeah. I'd probably say, but it also depends on what we count as a full strength team right now with QPR. Because at the end of the day, you know, Tariq Lamptey injured at the moment, Madsen potentially injured again, and Kone obviously is a bit of a worry as well. So yeah, we need an update from Julian to find out what's going on with these players, but it depends on if Julian takes his cup game seriously. You know, I know the FA Cup is probably more important than the Carabao Cup, but in our times, any cup should be important, you know. I'm hoping the league as well is a big thing for us this season as well. I'm not saying to win it. A lot of people are trying to say that we're favourites to win it now for some reason. I don't know why, but I feel like the only team that will be winning that league is either West Ham or Wolverhampton. You know, I don't think Burnley will, because they've lost the guy that I believe honestly is too good, is the best championship manager right at the moment, is Scott Parker. You know, his playing style just kills the championship for me. I also think that obviously if Southampton end up getting this issue with their head coach, which would be a big problem for them pushing, but I would also sit here and say Middlesbrough are looking tougher than ever. But I would also say if we're looking at opponents under, like, for me there's two teams that I would sit here and say look like the dark horses, and I'm not saying us. My dark horses this season are probably Norwich and Derby. Norwich and Derby both look like dark horses for me. Scott Parker left. Yeah, no, that's what I say. But I'm just saying, Scott, obviously with Scott Parker leaving Burnley, you know, because they haven't got him now, it might be different. So yeah. Just thinking in terms of minutes, I would say he would probably play a youngster or two. I probably think Isaac would be on that field if anything, but I think he doesn't want to get injuries before the first game of the season against Portsmouth away. You know. You know, I still believe, like, if Lakesh, to me, if we bring Luke Chambers in, I feel like that's gonna be a left winger, if that makes sense. Boy, Kemper, good ball. Paul Smith keeps it in. Oh, and I also want to say one thing, right? I want to say this, right? Because, oh, actually, I'll wait till this corner's taken because we've been pretty good with set pieces at the moment. It's good play there by Paul Smith. Don't take it so crazy though. Don't want him injured. I think we have to get two midfielders. 100%. We need to get more than just two midfielders. We need a winger, and I would say possibly a right back. No, we don't need right back. We've got Tariq Lamptey and Adamson, and obviously Amadou and Benge. I'd probably say a left back if Ziyad Lakesh does get injured. Whipped in, cleared away by the keeper. Yeah. So I'll say in a second. So yeah. Oh wait, cleared away by Bromley. Wow, this is getting a bit hectic now. Go on, Alfie. Good boy. Kieran Morgan doing well. Let's pass it back to Clark Salter. Yeah, I agree. Derby and Norwich underrated. Sandfield, he had a touch of joining Norwich. He could have end up in Prem while we stay in the mid-table championship. I think for us, I think we definitely finished top 10 in the top 10 this season. I think, you know, he's at the bar. It's like unlucky, my mate. Unlucky. Our statement, a big statement is this, right? I'm saying this. I think we stay in top 10 all season. I think we stay in top 10 all season. I don't think we drop out of that top 10 whatsoever. I don't know why. I just have a feeling on it, you know. I just feel like we're going to be a lot more stronger this season, if that makes sense. You know, we are going to get losses, but not many, I think. Oh, here we go. Bromley in the ball, in the box. Crossed in, cleared away by Paul Smith. I think the one thing that do you know what? Talking to midfielders, and I said this at the start, but I haven't brought it up because I totally forgot about it because I thought he signed for Derby. But apparently he hasn't signed for Derby just yet on a permanent because he was only on loan by Palace. And that was Ozzo in midfield for Derby, who ran rings around us in midfield at up there when we played Derby. So yeah, listen, look, Ozzo is someone that I really would be focused on next season, or this season I should say, if he does go back to Derby, because he's a brilliant midfielder. I think if they're able to get him back from Palace, so yeah. Pompey got a lot of injuries. Okay. Do you think Charles will play against Wimbledon? That one I can't answer. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't answer that one because for me, these two keepers are gonna be the best keepers in the league. I think these two. I think Charles is definitely the best keeper in the league. But I also think that Charles, with his experience in the Championship, he gets number one, I think. And I think, obviously, with Ward, you know, until I see something more impressive than what we've seen already, then I would sit here and say probably, yeah. I think he's brought in more for next season. But I also unlucky Saniulu. Yeah, look, listen, I would sit here and say this. I think Charles gets first team, and I think Millwall may see Ward. Otherwise, it's going to be the opposite way round, I think. So yeah. Jack says Lakesh deserves a chance. I agree with that. Lakesh is a great, outstanding player. You know, I think he done well under Marty. But injury just killed him off. And I think if we can see something really good this season, I'd be very impressed with him. You know, I think he's a good player. And I think he's a good attacker as well, to be honest. So, yeah. Jack said, can QPR admin please give us a training video? Well, he has technically, but obviously not anytime soon he has. Chris says, QPR. Cheers, Chris. Thank you for tuning in. Jackie Boy, where's the Jordan James links? It's not happening. Jordan James is not going to happen, unfortunately. The wage is way too high, and I think they want to sell him. They don't want to send him out on loan, I think. So, yeah. Whitehall says bookies say 18 to 1 to go up, 6-1 to go down. Okay. Chris says PT. Andy, I felt our main problem against Derby last season away was physicality and organisation of their defence. We didn't get a look in. The Derby thing was, do you know what? It's a good look. Julian kind of needed to make the change as soon as possible against Derby, because when that second half changed, it was Saniolo on the attack here. Go on, go away. Unlucky, mate. Unlucky. Good confidence there in the shot as well. Good save. We're still on the ball though. Saniolo. All right. Calm down, gone back. I'll complete your question. Look, Derby went 5 at the back and they went all the way defensive. They did, and that's what the problem was. We just couldn't get past the defense. We didn't have the tactic or the players to do it. You know, that's when the injuries were really a nightmare for us. So yeah, I feel like Derby, you know, Eustace is a good manager, and I just think honestly, like, the defensive ability that they performed last season was just phenomenal in that second half. So yeah. Chris says yours, David. Kone better stay fit. Got him a golden boot. I've actually got Barella's golden boot. I actually put £5 on it. You know, I think Barella is going to kill the season this season. I honestly do. I think he's going to kill it. So yeah. Whitehall says average rank 17 place I think is a joke. Look, they're only going by, look, do you know what it is, right? There's certain podcast people or EFL Championship people I won't watch just because of, if you don't watch a team, don't rate the team. Honestly, if you don't watch the team, don't rate them. You clearly don't watch QPR, so don't rate them, honestly, because everyone said we was gonna get relegated last season, and look at how he was. You know, look, for me, I feel like you can only really say anything if you watch that football club. So yeah, but yeah, Bromley are rubbish. Chris says Bromley are so bad. Well, mate, look at the league they're in, man. You're playing against a Division 2 side. Jack says, hear me out, Dele Alli. Apparently Dele Alli was training at the ground, but like, do you really want to bring in the character of Dele Alli into a group like QPR? Is it gonna be good? Is it gonna be bad? Because I can tell you certain things that I know about Dele Alli, so I don't think his mentality is there anymore. So yeah. QPR shit, Grandad Club. Yeah, cheers, talk. Well, let's hear who you support, and then we can judge it then. So yeah. Chris says boo Bromley. Talks, if you're a Bromley fan, you might as well just stay quiet, my friend. So yeah, Mr. Potato Guy, League One. As in QPR is look, Championship is where QPR, but it's technically Division 2 in the sense of pretty much Premier League or Division 1. I'm talking back in the day, man. Back in the day. So yeah. But yeah, like I said, I think we stay top 10 and we don't go anywhere. We don't go anywhere like 11th, 12th, 5th. We stay in top 10 constantly all season. We do. I think I'm that confident about this season. I really am. You know, I don't know what it is. Some people ain't intrigued by Julian, but there's something about Julian's game plan that I really think is just going to get us promoted, honestly. Maybe not this season. It's going to take us time, but yeah. Alright, Alfie Lloyd on the ball. He's getting pushed around, and it's going to be a free kick to QPR. Cheers, Chris. No, I mean Bromley are league. Oh, are they? Are they? They're playing really bad, man. Do you thoughts on Party Ring? What's Party Ring? I don't know what Party Ring is. West Pete, the thing we have lacked is consistency. Consistency gets brought up quite a bit under Julian, but look, you gotta remember, man, this is a championship. It's a physical league, and you know, technically, when you're playing at home, yeah, you should be winning. But the championship is an up and down league, so yeah, man, it's gonna be competitive. But you gotta remember, we have some outstanding players at QPR. We really do. Right, whipped in. Oh, good save there by the Bromley keeper. Well, cheers, Mick, for letting me know. Bromley in League One. Amir says, where are Burrell and Kone? Probably will be when we play till tomorrow, Amir. We got another live stream tomorrow because we got another game against AFC Wimbledon tomorrow. Andy says, had no idea Bromley were League One, thought they were non-league, so given we are playing half-strength team, that's not a bad scoreline right now. It's not. I'd be honest, I know Bromley did come up, but I thought they got relegated into, back into the National League, if I'm not, that's what I thought, personally, so yeah. The Biscuit Lad, I don't know who that is. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know who that is, the Biscuit Lad. AB says, I really like the look of Saniola. Hope he gets on first team minutes this season. I think he won't. I'll be honest, I think he won't. I think if he proves himself in the development side, possibly. But I believe he has signed a professional contract now. So you never say never. You know, on the bench against Millwall, never say never. All right, Paul Smith on the ball right now. Good play. Sees Chair down the left. Into the box. Plays it back to Isaac. Can he have a shot? He does. Oh, good save. It's a good shot as well. If we finish below 10th, it's a stinker. I agree. Listen, look, we can't finish below 10th this season. We can't. It would be a negative. Look, even though we finished higher than... Alright, say we finish 11th. I know it would be higher than last season, but, you know... It's time to shine, really. It is really time to shine, you know. We are building a team around Julian under a manager that I hope stays and gets allowed. You know, if we finish 11th, do I say we sack him? No, because he's still doing a good job, in my opinion, you know. Unless it comes down to the fact being we're fighting another relegation battle or something like that, then yeah, I would agree. But right now, I'm positive with this guy. I like Julian. I think Julian is going to be one hell of a head coach for us. You know, unfortunately, he's not as the same as what the Sunderland head coach is. But look, I think we got the next big thing, you know. Bromley play like a National League South team. I think they still are, to be honest. So yeah, Jackie Boy says, you don't know what a party ring is. The biscuit. Oh! Dude, I don't think about... Look, I might be fat, but I don't think about food that much. Jeez. I know what a pie ring is. Of course I know what a pie ring is. But I've never had one since I was probably a child. So, yeah. But they were good. They were good. QPR have been really convincing this preseason. Amir says, yep, 100%. You know, look. I think the strength... You know, I think the strength is this, right? And I got someone commented on it. I don't know why someone would comment on a negative thought on it, but the fact that the way how we played against Fiorentina, look, both teams weren't great on the day, and I never said we were brilliant, right? I just said I can see the idea of a Julian plan, what he's trying to do. when I say what I liked what I saw, when you see the keeper coming out on attacks towards the halfway line and your full defense is pushing up to the halfway line, then you know something is being looking good, you know. And the way we attacked like that really was impressive, you know. And to score the goals that we did against De Gea, he might not be the best keeper like he used to be, but it was a good show at the end of the day, and I'm very positive on the performance of what we did. It wasn't, I'm not saying it was the best performance, but it was something to look at and work on, you know, and see what ideas he had. So that was brilliant, and that's what I enjoyed about it. So yeah. Who's your favorite player? Fred says. Well, thank you for tuning in, Fred. But my favorite player is obviously, I think everyone's gonna know who my favorite player is. Amadou Mbengue. You know, I think ever since we signed him and I saw him in that first game against Preston, there was just something about Amadou that I really liked. You know, everyone knows how much I bragged about Amadou and Harvey Vale and Ronnie Edwards, all these players, but I was non-stop talking about Amadou, about his centre-back performance against Preston. You know, he reminds me of Danny Shitu, man. Honestly, Danny Shitu was an incredible defender for me. Everyone was scared of him when they played against him, and he was just amazing. You know, the character there as well. You know, Amadou just resembles that, in my opinion. And, you know, it's the kind of thing you need in the club because, you know, do you want miserable players? Hell no. You want someone like Amadou to lift the squad spirits up, you know? And that's what he does. Whether it's being red carded or what, you know? At the end of the day, he seems to be a great character in the dressing room. So that's what we need. But I would sit here and say Amadou Mbengue. So yeah. Fab says, where's Collie? Collie, I don't know, mate. Look, I'm trying to get my best information out of Collie. I'm not gonna lie, the job that I did the other day, it was actually a friend of Collie's dad's, and he was just talking to me about Collie, but nothing was said in the sense of what's going on with him in the season, so I'm not too sure. But look, I want Collie to stay. I think he's exciting. I think he still has a future at QPR. But there's no, obviously, announcement of what's going on. But the worrying thing for me is this. Now, obviously, everyone saw that when they announced the team sheet for Austria, there was obviously certain players on there. Now, majority of those players have left QPR. And I would say sit here and say that he may be on his way out. You know, when I saw Santos go and he was on that list, I generally thought, right, okay, is this Collie's last? I don't know, but I'm hoping he stays. I'm hoping it's nothing serious. I'm hoping it's just a knock or something why he's missing pre-season. But I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure, mate, but I want him to stay. So yeah. What else we got here? Any news on Alan Brown? No idea, mate. No news on that because I don't think he's been linked to QPR, Jackie. Mine's Jimmy Dunfred says, okay, nice. Ex-Man United youngster. Is Madsen and Cody injury bad? I'm not too sure, Amir. Look, the best person to really contact probably about the injuries and stuff like that is probably Tigana. He seems to be on point with some information. But I'm not trying to expose him. But he's obviously given some good information today. So yeah. So give him a shout. He's actually on TikTok, I think. So yeah, give him a shout. But I would sit here and say that it might be bad on Madsen, but Kone might be okay because he was seen in training on a video. So yeah. Mick says, crazy how Bromley beat Crystal Palace 3-0 last week. I'd be honest, I don't know. I think there was someone that said something about it, but you gotta remember, Palace have a new head coach, so yeah, and it's a head coach that we was interested in, so yeah. Mr. Potato, good to see you in the chat. If Bromley can't handle this banter, QPR side, teams like Lincoln will be cooked when they play us full strength this season. I don't, like I said, I'll be honest, I haven't really focused on Lincoln this season. I haven't really focused. I know obviously Lloyd was there on loan, but I haven't really focused to see what their business is. So what I'll try and do is I'll probably try and do something before the season starts where I look into every club and rate them and go from there. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Lee says, I like to be a realist. I tend to look at how much money a club spends on players and wages in the championship. Top 10 would be great considering wages and money and spent. I agree, Lee. Look, at the end of the day, I'm not thinking obviously unrealistic terms. Look, it would be great to finish in the top 8. It would be great to finish in the playoffs, but top 10 will be fine for me. You know, we're not the best team. I keep saying this to people. You know, we're not the greatest team in the championship, but we are building something good, you know, and I think that's the truth about it. So yeah, you know, we're getting rid of the deadwood and we're bringing in Julian players, and that's the only way a club can perform under their head coach, is allowing their head coach to bring in what he needs to play his tactic and his regime and his philosophy. So yeah, and that's what he's doing, and it looks great. You know, what I'm most excited about is hopefully he does give youngsters a shout out and a good go, because we want to see the same results as he had at Rennes and Strasbourg, where he brought in youngsters. Look at Edu and all of these guys, you know, they're pretty crazy. So yeah, QPR had an opportunity there. Jackie says, thoughts on Mikey Moore signing? Look, Mikey Moore is a great player. I rate Mikey Moore, but too much wage for QPR, I would sit here and say. I think he's on a lot of money, I'm not going to lie. But I don't know where he went to, or if he has gone to anyone, so yeah. How likely Glenn Kamara to QPR? It's probably going to happen, Amir. Probably going to happen, but I don't know when. I honestly don't know when. Apparently, Tagana said that it could be either announced over the weekend or Monday, so yeah. But we'll see what happens. At says Fob's threat, hopefully Collie in Turkey or Saudi discussing personal terms. I don't know what's going on there with Collie, to be honest. I don't know what's going on with him, so yeah. Hang on, people, hang on. Stop. Sorry about that. Patrick says, do you think Edward goes to Burnley? Hell no. Look, he's just arrived at QPR for half a season. Yes, look. So, look, for me, I've said this in the short already. I don't think he leaves. He stays at QPR. I know he's going to stay because I think he's just too comfortable at QPR. Look, if you're going to go and leave QPR right now and settle in at a club that you probably won't get first team, you know, I don't know what to say, but comfortability and doing well is better than being at a club that you don't know what's going on. So, look. Oh, Paul Smith's in here. Paul Smith shoots, and it's a lovely goal. 3-0. Paul Smith doing the bizzo there, securing the 3 goals before half time. So yeah, great goal. Bit of a mistake there by Bromley though. Where was we? We got a lot of comments, man. You guys are killing the live streams this season, man, honestly. Where was we at? Edwards, yeah, Edwards, I think he stays at QPR. Ryan says, hope Sato is okay. He better not be leaving. I don't know what's going on with Sato, but the fact is he went to Austria, so I wouldn't say he is leaving. But I think he maybe just has a knock, so yeah. Talk says, QPR will never be more than a mid-table championship club supported by train spotters. Bro, I don't know. Bro, listen, look. Relax yourself, man. Honestly, relax yourself. Right? Relax yourself. Because you don't know QPR. Unless you're an actual QPR fan, you don't know what you're talking about. But you don't know QPR. Come on, let's know who you support. Come on. AB says Morgan needs a loan. He's been dreadful throughout this preseason. Listen, look, I feel like the playing style for Julian is a lot of pressure for him. And I think a loan spell will suit him for sure. But I also think that we need to send him like what we did with Daniel Benny right now. You know, I think what we've done with Daniel Benny right now is brilliant. And I also just really want to see if we do send loan players out like that, they go to the top clubs that we need them to go to. So yeah. Andy says if Mbenge had the physique of Shitu, he'd be unreal. 100%, 100%. He's got certain things about Shitu, but yeah. Tang says, evening everyone. Sorry to be late to your reply, Tang. Hopefully you're okay. Thank you for tuning in. Jack says thoughts on Alan Brown. I think I've not seen that already. I don't know who that. I know who you're on about, but he ain't really linked to us. Teddy says, when were QPR last in the Prem? I believe it was 2014. I think it was 2014. I believe it was when Harry Redknapp was in charge. So yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, 2014 Teddy. Yeah, that's the one. Guitar cover says, should I bet on Bromley, bro? Hell no. Bromley are losing 3-0. Have I changed the scoreline? Yes, I have. So yeah, 3-0. Should I bet on Bromley? No, don't bet on Bromley, Guitar. Don't bet on Bromley. People chatting about our club who haven't even got a Scooby explains everything about some people, Jackie says. Listen, look, people are entitled to say what they want to say, but whether they're smart enough to actually talk about football, look, I'm down to have a conversation with you. Listen, if you want a conversation about QPR, conversation about football, come, let's talk. Let's talk. I'm not afraid. Let's talk. But if you don't want to talk, then and just keep saying QPR shit and all of that, then you're not bothering me one bit. If you're trying to get a reaction out of me or just try and say something, I'm not bothered one bit, because at the end of the day, I know my club. You know, at the end of the day, most of these people that talk about QPR don't know shit. You know, so yeah. Hey mate, John says, hey mate, up to the R's predictions for the season, mate. Feel optimistic, don't know why. Top 10, like I said, I feel optimistic to finish in the top 10 this season. I know I said it last season, but I feel like we're a lot stronger than last season, to be honest, and hopefully if we can keep the injuries out of the question, I feel like we stay top 10 all season. I don't think we get out of top 10. So yeah, don't lose top 10, if that makes sense. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. But thank you for your comment, John. Thank you for tuning in. As says, Morgan out on loan, depending on us signing 2 midfielders. I think maybe that's also to do with it as well. I think we look at it this way, you know, we need midfielders in if we're going to let midfielders go on out on loan. You know, Isak's great. Kieran Morgan has potential, but it depends on what we bring in at the end of the day. So yeah. Jackie says, DB, I'm happily have a conversation with you. Jackie says, thank you, man. Appreciate it, man. I'm good. Listen, look, anyone that wants to have a conversation about QPR or any type of football, I'm here, bruv. Because at the end of the day, if you support Chelsea, seriously, come on now, man. If you support Chelsea, look, come on, man. Blueco, what are you doing, man? Look. Come on, man. Look, if you support Chelsea, Blueco, what is that all about, man? Look, where was you last season? You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Murray says, I think we've got the quality. Do you think we have the depth to be competitive in the 3 matches? Oh, that. Do you know what? Listen, look. That's a good question. That, Murray, look, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, because you're right. You're completely right. With how the seasons have been with injuries for us, do we compete with it? Realistically, I'm going to tell you right now, I think we do get injuries. We do get injuries, 100%. But I feel like this is why we're bringing in a certain player as well, to bring in cover for that quality as well. You know, just because if, say, Amadou gets injured, we have Tariq Lamptey. If Tariq Lamptey gets injured, Amadou Mbengue is there. If a centre-back gets injured, that's one concern for me right now, because I still feel like we need a centre-back, unless they're going to give... Unless Jake Clark-Sort can stay fit. And that's my main concern right now. You know, creativity-wise, Ilya Sher, if he gets injured, who's going to be our, like... push the ball into attack kind of thing? So look, it's a good question, Murray, and I love that type of question. In fact, I don't know if I can do it or not, or pin it or whatever, but I don't think I can pin it, so yeah. But yeah, I honestly think that's going to be one of our main concerns. Obviously 3 games a week. Julian, obviously, is he used to it? Pretty much, so yeah. Great finish, Lisa. Great finish by Smith. He has it in his locker to score plenty of goals this season. He scored 3 last season in 20 odd games. Many a sub. I believe he could score about 7 to 8 this season. I'll talk about Paul Smith at half time. Well, it's half time now. It is. I will talk about him in a bit. I will. But we're going to half time now under 3-0. It has been pretty quiet at the moment for QPR. So yeah. Give me a second, people. Just refreshing that. Yeah, so I'll answer your question in a minute, Lee. Patrick says we will get 12 points from first 4 games. I reckon we get maybe just under that, I think, Patrick. John says, not to scare anyone, the last time Spain won the World Cup, we won the league. Just saying. Well, fingers crossed. Never say never. Never say never. Planet says, who is Madsen's replacement when he's injured? So right now, Madsen's replacement is probably going to be Kamara. Let's be honest. It's probably going to be Kamara when he comes in. But I also believe that Isaac can play that role. And it's going to be a big depth for him to compete. But, you know, we got the midfielders. I think, like, if we do bring in the 2 midfielders, I think it does the trick, you know. And I am pretty impressed with Varane's pre-season this season, you know. It's pretty decent. So, yeah. Bajuri, welcome in the chat. Beat until the end of the year. Nice. Good. Do you know what? You never say never. Yeah, again, I would love that. I'd love to see us go through a Neil Warnock again, where we went unbeaten until Watford killed us in December, was it? Or maybe less than December. What centre-back do I want, Jackie says? Oh, God. That's a good, interesting question. The centre back that I wanted we can't get because he's playing first team now, and that was Convert from Palace. Convert would have been a great signing for us, but I feel like we should have maybe raided Birmingham for. I think it's Birmingham. I'm not too sure. Helic maybe. I'm not too sure. But yeah, that was the only centre back really that I was interested in was Convert from Palace. So yeah. Isaac Toure is League One, plays for FC Torrent. I've heard of him. I think we've been interested in Jackie Boy, but I don't know what's going on with it. I don't think it's something that we're going to be pursuing. Seed says Chair looks good. He does. Honestly, if he can stay fit this season, we got our player, our creative player. So look, muscular injuries are going to affect him for sure. You know, hamstrings are a problem for him, as everyone knows. But it's keeping these players fit as possible and giving them the rest that we can. So yeah. Right, so I need a drink because that was a lot of talking, people. Right, I want to talk about Paul Smith. You're right, Keen. Thank you for tuning in. Oh man, hang on. Damn. Right, I want to talk about Paul Smith because I feel like a lot of people on Twitter have been giving him a bit of a bad name. Look, Paul Smith doesn't need to score goals to prove who he is, right? Paul Smith does not need to prove himself that way. I have not seen a player like Paul Smith that plays for the badge and the heart that he has to chase a ball down the way he does. And look, the only way to explain it is, you remember how Jamie Mackey was with QPR? A die-hard QPR player. Never say never, die, just complete. Like, if he got fouled, he kept going, you know? And this is why I love him, because he puts his heart on the badge, you know? And this is why I loved him the first time he played for QPR, and now when he's back as well. You know, he's improved so much under Marty and Julian, both of them. And I really think they're going to be out. He's an outstanding talent, and, you know, he's an important player for this team. He is. You know, he's very pacey. You know, the only thing that I obviously said the problem is when he plays in the rain. And everyone agreed with me when they started seeing it. When it's wet weather or a wet pitch, he can't run with the ball great. You know, he does take a heavy touch, and it does become a problem. And that's the only thing. But for people to sit here and say because he hasn't scored that many goals or whatever, you're an idiot for saying that. Because at the end of the day, the only people that should be scoring the goals is Kone, Burrell, Alfie Lloyd, Colley, you know? And that's the main strikers. A winger is to deploy and development and to make sure them goals go in by assisting the strikers or being there in the box and coming for an assist or a tap-in, if that makes sense, you know? Look, Paul Smith has scored goals for QPR, and they've been amazing goals, great goals. But the main thing is he's a contributor to QPR's goals. He gets involved in the team, and that's why I love him. He's great. So yeah. I've seen you on TikTok, Keen. Thank you, mate. Thank you. I might start going live on TikTok for this. I don't know if I'm allowed to, but I might do it because people seem to love the content on TikTok with the QPR stuff. So we'll see what happens. But yeah. Smithy is quality, Jackie Boy says. Keen says Smithy is class. Simon says your observation on Smith having the same heart as Mackie is spot on. It's the same. Listen, look. I had a season ticket for QPR for God knows how many years, and would I sit here and say I regret not renewing my ticket? 100%. I agree that I didn't renew my ticket, right? But there was reasons for it. You know, I wasn't happy watching the game plans that Harry Redknapp was doing and what Tony Fernandez and Les was doing at the club. I thought they were just ruining the club, and I just thought, you know what, I continue with work, or do I sacrifice work and go to QPR, you know? And that was my main thing. So look, at the end of the day, Jamie Mackie, I watched Jamie Mackie when he came in from Plymouth in that promotion season, and he was just superb. You know, unfortunately, he had a real issue with that breakage of his leg with what Diouf did to him in the FA Cup, but at the end of the day, what a player he was. And I love players like that. I love players that play for the badge. I love the heart. And Burrell is another player like that as well. I think Burrell shows the quality of being a football player, you know, and not wanting to just play for the sake of it. He wants the goals. You can see he's hungry, and you see he's a talented football player now, you know, and he proved me wrong. And I hope most of these other players prove me wrong as well. So yeah. I'm a massive Paul Smith fan. Lee says maybe before your time, but he has many similarities to Andy Impey. The name rings a bell. The name rings a bell, but I know who you're on about. So yeah, I haven't really seen much clips, but I know who you're on about. Jackie Boy says I want to see training videos and see who's training. I see all these clubs who post training videos every day, and we post a training video once a month. But you gotta remember, it's just to do with pretty much what the club want to do. You know, look, at the end of the day, it's down to them what they do with the media team. You know, the media team have to do what they want to do. You know, at the end of the day, they said they wanted to bring in some more stuff for social media, and they kind of have, but I think more of it was to do with TikTok. So yeah. Whitehall says maybe before your time. Dave Thomas, yeah, that's way before my time. I don't think I even know the name, to be honest, my friend. I don't even think I know the name. So yeah. Right, so second half's about to start soon. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Yeah, subscribe if you want to. But if we can hit the likes for over 30, honestly, last stream we hit, the target was 20 likes. We demolished that. We got the 30 likes on that live stream. New targets are coming now. 30 likes. So if you can, it is free. Hit that like button. It does help the channel push the content out a bit more to a more broader audience. That's all I ask. Is just hit that like button. It'd be much appreciation. 30 likes is the target of this stream. Let's do it. It's not hard. Let's get this done. Come on, boys and girls, if you are watching. But yeah, anyone likes, 100%, man. Honestly, I appreciate it. Much love to you guys, man. Honestly, because I keep saying it, and I will repeat it, because look, you're the heart of this channel as well. You know, anyone that subscribes and watches every week or whatever and tunes in. So much love and appreciation to you guys, man. Honestly, I can't thank you enough. So yeah, enough of the sobby, but let's get back into the comments. Ronnie Marsh, do you mean Rodney Marsh? Jack, any chance in the starting 11? I don't know. 182 apps, Whitehall says. So yeah, I'm guessing that's Dave Thomas. Like I said, I'm not too sure on who that is, I'll be honest. In fact, I remember the name. The names ring a bell, but yeah, I'll be honest with you, it's something not really. I need to do this actually. Let me check. Dave Thomas, English former footballer. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, I remember him a bit. Isn't he blind now? I think he's blind now, isn't he? By any chance, did he play against George Best? Alright, 3-0 though. That's a really good result though for QPR. Bring back Adele. Oh, mate, Adele was phenomenal, man. Honestly, Adele was phenomenal. But I don't think he's coming back. It would have been announced already because I know there was talks of it. But yeah, I think personally, yeah, Ronnie, not Ronnie, Adele. What am I saying Ronnie for? Adele, yeah, it's just I think he's done with now. I think his footballing days are done with. I think he loves Dubai, and it suits his style. You know, he's that guy. You know, the Moroccan magician. So yeah, right. So Bromley, obviously, we're all over Bromley at the moment. My halftime thoughts: we played well. You know, we're not playing serious football because there's things that I can see on the pitch that I wouldn't say is great. But the fact is this, you know, we're getting the goal. When we shoot, we're getting it past the keeper. And that's the main thing. I'm seeing positives in some of the youngsters that are playing. It's a good movement for us, obviously, with Bromley where they are in the divisions. But, you know, it's an easy game. You know, if they come back and get a 3-3 or whatever, I'd be very surprised. But we should be finishing this off in the second half. Unless he sits here, unless he goes and says, you know what, let them score, you know, kind of thing. So yeah, Hagel said Samuel and Isaac are playing well. I feel like there's certain couple of players that may get an opportunity for QPR, and I think Isaac and obviously Brew went out on loan, but I think Isaac gets an opportunity, and I think there's who's the other player? I can't think of the other player. Not good. I can't think of the other player. I apologize. Maybe Adamson. So yeah. Elias looks really ready for the season. I think hopefully if we keep him fit, he's gonna be up there. So yeah. Hear me out. Give Charlie Austin a manager. Not happening. He doesn't want to become a manager. He wants to become a coach. And he's doing his own podcast now. So yeah, I don't know what he's doing, but shout out to Charlie Austin, man. Honestly, you know, one of the best strikers in the history of QPR for sure. So yeah, you know, I said this right. I said this, and I think it's a good possible shout. Come then. You want to say hello? Go on, say hello then. Look, there you go. Say hello. Oh, say hello. Go on, say hello. Go on. Right, so it's a good shout, to be honest, and I think this is going to happen, right? So I was thinking EFL Championship Player of the Season, right? If the player does well, I reckon Burrell gets it. I reckon if Burrell gets crazy amount of goals, assists, I think he gets Player of the Season for the EFL Championship. I do. I really do. I genuinely think he does. It'd be impressive. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but I genuinely think it might happen. So yeah, hear me out. Oh, I've read that already. But if you disagree, then yeah, I'd understand. But I think personally, Burrell gets Player of the Season. Not for the club. I mean the actual EFL Championship, like what Hayden Hackney got last season. So yeah, Madsen is a good shout as well, but I think Burrell gets it. You know, if Burrell becomes top goal scorer, which I think he will, it'd be a good shout. But then again, Burrell's been playing, looks like he might play on the right. So, I'm not too sure. Alright, teams are out. We're getting ready to start the second half. We're just waiting for Bromley to get out of here. Burrell plays well. He might leave in January. Well, let's hope not. Let's hope not. Because, listen, look, there's certain players there that I would say if they do play well, we're not going to sell them for less than 10 million. So I'll tell you that. H-Ball says, I reckon Kone could be in the race for Golden Boot. Well, there's been a lot of people. Look, I like Kone. I'm not going to disrespect Kone whatsoever because I like Kone. You know, I know a lot of people don't like Kone. But I genuinely still think he has the ability to do stuff on the pitch. You know, 9 goals in his first season in the Championship is not even bad. It's actually really good for me. Like, unless he scored only 1, then I'd be like, what the hell? Jude the Cat. Wow, okay, Jude the Cat's in here. We still need a backup striker. I think we got a backup striker. We got Collie. No, I'm joking. That's rude. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. I don't know who we have in backup striker. You know, we have Burrell and Kone. We do. I don't know if you want to count, obviously, Collie. We have, you know, who? Yeah, we have Obuku. Obuku's there. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. Shout out to Jude the Cat, though. Jude the Cat's tuning in. Bring in Don Bollard. Dan Bollard, you know, Don Bollard. Sorry, I didn't see that. Well, second half's about to start. I'll answer your questions in a second. I'm just gonna start the timer in a minute. Oh, sorry, I can look at that. What am I doing? Bring in DB should play up front for QPR. Keen. Oh, Jesus Christ. Unless you know me unless you know me well, I don't know, but look, I'd be honest, I'm not a striker, mate. I'm not a striker. I'm more of a winger. I am, even though I like to be creative. Do you know what? Goals don't really, you know, I've scored goals, but I like creating, you know. I'm more of a creator. I like to get the assists and do that. So yeah. No subs, I don't think, Ryan. No subs. It's going to be a throw into Bromley. I think Bromley have Reading next week, possibly. Thank you for your comment, Keen. Thank you for tuning in. Right. Charles is still on the pitch, though. Alright, he's pushing up. Good to see. Alright, he's played out wide to Jimmy Dunn. And it's back to Charles now. Alright, it's gone long. And it's a good delivery from Charles. Adamson on the ball. Crosses it in first time. And it's straight to a Bromley player, though. Cleared away. Alright, we win it back with Boy Kemper, who knocks it back to Charles. Not a bad knockback, to be honest. Right, Jake Clark-Salter on the ball. Do you know what? Jake Clark-Salter, if he stays fit, I'll be very happy, man, honestly, because, you know, he's still a good defender, and I just feel like he has the same ability. I'm not comparing him to this player, just to let you know, but I honestly think Ledley King kind of similarities there, you know, with the injuries. Is that good turn there? Good pass. Well, bit of a troubled pass. Charles' distribution is actually a joke. Is it in a good way or a bad way, AB? We look more comfortable playing in the back. What a tackle by Isaac there. Sonny Ulu going skipping past the players here. And it's not a great pass to Paul Smith. It probably is delayed. I'm not too sure. Let me refresh. Bromley player gone down here. Yeah, I'm at 47-10. Oh, very good. Okay, I didn't know what you was on about, because when someone says actually a joke, I think maybe bad, but look, I think Charles is, look, like I said, I'm gonna say it again. I feel like where we obviously spoke about Joe Walsh a lot and Nardi and all of them lot last season, you can see what Julian is saying now about how he wants to play. And if Charles and Ward are these type of keepers, then I guess what Julian likes to do is have every player on the attack. You know, play over sweeper keeper. Right. Paul Smith on the ball. Back to Boy Kemper. Isaac, who has been phenomenal pre-season, honestly. And to Chad, the passing game is a lot better. Honestly, Isaac on the ball now. He's going to take a shot. He shoots. Oh, unlucky. Unlucky. Isaac is looking good, honestly. I can't wait to see this guy playing in Championship. You know, he's going to have a lot of teams after him. But yeah, look, I think the passing, as long as the passing's a lot better than last season, because our passing last season was a joke, complete joke. So yeah, Jack says Jake and Liam are perfect backup options. They're great options for sure, but we do obviously have Tylon Smith and Akadinelli to look at as well. I think Akadinelli is going to be a very good centre back for us eventually. I think we need to get rid of Jake Clark-Soa. I would sit here and say I would agree with you for sure, but if he can prove himself and keep fit this season, then I would say we probably be able to keep hold of him. But to be honest, with his injuries, if he does get injured again, it's not going to be good. It's another good ball by Charles there to Saniulu. It's a comfortable pickup by Saniulu into the box, holding with his strength brilliantly there. Isaac plays it back to Jimmy. Good vision there to see that, actually. Where is Tylon Smith? Probably with development squad. You know, he's not had exactly a great start to his QPR career, but yeah, he's probably with the development squad at the moment. Paul Smith. Oh, brilliant turn into the box, and again, should have gone down. Alfie Lloyd, go on, turn. Oh, unlucky, Alfie, unlucky. Take your time, don't worry. He did, but Celtic obviously. Do you know what? Can I tell? Do you want me to tell you the truth? I'm gonna tell you the truth now, right? And this is no surprise. So it came down to where when the bid was going through, there was obviously a failed test, and they pretty much pulled out the deal, and it was Celtic, I think it was. So yeah, it was Brendan Rodgers that wanted him in at Celtic, and yeah, it just fell through because of some test or something like that. Yeah, but all of the Cobham defenders, right? All the, like, as they call them, made in Cobham, they're all injury prone. Anyone that was made in Cobham as a defender is an injury prone. Look at Reece James, injury prone. Look at Colwill now, injury prone. And Colwill and Jake Clark-Soa are two similarities of career. You know? So that's my thing, what I would say. Right. Goal kick or free kick from the Bromley goalkeeper. It's appalling free kick, and it's gone for a QPR throw in our half. Alright, Adamson. Hopefully he gets an opportunity as well this season. Adamson, you know, he wasn't very in the mindful picks for Julian last season, so yeah. Alright, Charles with the ball. It's a fucking good distribution again. Oh my god. Paul Smith 1-2 it, tries to avoid Camper, but Chair wins it. I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna have a fucking no voice before Millwall. I'm telling you right now, I'm having no voice before Millwall. Paul Smith unlucky there, loses the ball in that type of scenario that I was explaining. Alright, Bromley clear it. Oh man, Jesus Christ. Alright, Charles on the ball. to Adamson. Alright, Isaac has come into the defensive part to collect it. Sorry, people. Jesus Christ. Alright. Elias Share on the ball out wide to Paul Smith. Elias Share. Go on, Elias. Go on. Yes. Do you know what? The passing is so much better. It might not be fast-paced, but the accuracy and everything like that is so much better. I don't know what Julian's been working on with the boys, but it's a lot better in movement-wise as well. Isaac into the box. Does really well. Sees Chair. Paul Smith. Back to Chair. Chair. Back to Smith. Smith shoots and it's blocked. Isaac bicycle kick. Oh my god, he's done it. 4-0. What a goal. Isaac has got his goal. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, this guy is going to be a gem. This guy is going to be a gem. He's bicycle kicked that. He's bloody bicycle kicked it. Oh, what a gem. What a lovely goal. He's impressed. He's really impressed me this preseason. He really has. You know, he's really impressed me. I wouldn't be surprised if Lewis, no, not Lewis, if Potter, Lewis, is it, I can't remember his first name, Potter, actually gets him into this team, into the Swedish team. He's Swedish, right? I believe he is. Keon says, Bromley are shit. Is that great youngster? Lead Timo Livermore and Lewis Hall, both injury prone ex-Chelsea youngsters. There you go. There you go. Made in Cobham, more like made in the hospital. Are we slowly seeing a club on the up again? Well, Jackie, let's not get too hasty here, yeah? Because the season hasn't started just yet. So let's see how it goes. But listen, look, we're looking a lot better in certain areas. I think defensive ability was a problem, which I said before, and I feel like we're slowly improving. But in the attack, we was crazy last season, honestly. This has to be our best preseason in years. I think it's been a good preseason, but you gotta remember as well, it does give the boys confidence. But the teams that we're playing are different strategies to what we're going to be playing in a couple of weeks. So let's not get too hasty. Chip off the block says goal of the preseason. I don't know, him or Amadou, one of them. Oh, brilliant play again. Chelsea's Boy Kemper whipped in. Oh, it's 4-5-0. Sanayulu with the bloody header. What an impressive header by what a ball by Boy Kemper. Do you know what? Let's not give Boy Kemper some credit there. Let's give him a hell of a lot of credit for that ball. Good goal, man. Good goal. 5-0, chip off the old block. Yeah, my bad. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Sorry. No, it's cool. You don't have to apologize, but let's not get too hasty. That's a beautiful goal. It's a good ball by Boy Kemper. It really is. And Sanayulu getting the header into the bottom corner. I'm good to see him score a goal, honestly. Trevor Sinclair scored one of the QPR's greatest ever goals. Yeah, I agree. Whitehall, 100%. Look, Trevor Sinclair was one of the greatest goals, obviously, for QPR, but I'm going to go with one of the greatest goals that I've witnessed, and it's going to be two goals. There's two goals that I really have seen that have been brilliant. Number one, a Delta Rap versus Swansea City. And number two, I'm going to say Akos Bazaki's free kick against West Bromwich Albion. Those two goals were brilliant. Jackie says, why am I? Because you're happy, mate. Look, you're seeing something from QPR which you're so happy about. That's what it is. I'm happy with watching what I'm watching. If we were losing against Bromley, I'd be fucking pissed right now. Jim of Rock says Zamora. No, I'm going with a Delta Trap versus Swansea. I remember being at that game, and that just was like, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I just, you know, talk about emotion, man. Honestly, you know, oh, what a goal it was. You know, Del Trap, you're not going to see a player like him again. Goal against Brum. I don't remember that one. Do you know what? Ronnie, not Ronnie. Daniel Benny's goal was alright against Hull. Kone's goal was good. Alright, yeah, I remember. I think we did the watch along for that. I remember, if I'm not mistaken. So 5-0 in the second half. It's only been 20 minutes. No, not even that. 15 minutes. And we're looking like we're going for a 6. Adamson whips it in. It's gone straight to Alfie Lloyd. What can he do with it here? Shoots. And there's 6. Alfie Lloyd making it 6-0. Wow. Impressive display by QPR tonight. Very impressive. Absolutely impressive display. I don't know what he said in the second half, but it's pushed him a bit more into the box. It took a deflection, but it's 6. Good ball by Kieran Morgan there. Dog's back. You back? You come see QPR because we're winning 6-0, yeah? Damn, just tuned in. Word up says who scored the goal. It was Alfie Lloyd. Alfie Lloyd just scored the goal. And yeah. QPR Ryan says he wants 10. AB says playing so well. Keane says this is our B team beating a League 1 team. Well, I would say it's our B team, but yeah, listen, look, we're doing really well. 6-0. You know, we've put in a good performance. It's not the best performance I've seen, but it's a good warm-up game for the season, you know? Yeah, look, Alfie Lloyd, according to what Tigana said, that Alfie Lloyd was going out on loan. He was, apparently, but yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on with him. But he's proved a point today. He's proved the point today. Hear me out. Charles gets a goal this season. Oh, you reckon, yeah? Okay, Jackie. Not bad, cool. Not bad, cool. This game will give talented Alfie Lloyd so much confidence. Hopefully. But the thing is, if he does go out on loan, then, you know, I don't know what to say. And we're back in it again. Ilya Sher on the left. Oh, he's unlucky there. I know what he was trying to do, and he's won it back. Very dangerous pass there, though. Jimmy Dunn, damn, goes across. Good, unlucky ball there, but we got it back with Alfie Lloyd, Boy Kemper. This gives the players confidence 100%. Does it Dieng? Okay, Jackie Boy thinks Dieng is Charles. Right, Jimmy Dunn on the ball. Oh, that's a bad pass there by Jimmy. It's the first bad one. Adamson, doing well. Kieran Morgan getting back there to help the defense win it back. Adamson goes for a long ball through to Alfie Lloyd. What a ball it was. And Alfie Lloyd doing some Balotelli shit there. I don't know what that was about. Stop. Do you remember the Dieng goal? I do remember it against Middlesbrough. Very lucky goal. No, I'm joking. It was a good goal. It was a very good goal. We want 10. We want 10. Jack says. Alright, we got Jake Clark, Salter, Paul Smith. Oh, Paul Smith's had a nasty challenge there. It's going to be a free kick. Who has scored? Jay Guitar says. Well, first things first. It's good to see you in the chat, Jay Guitars. And the name goal scorers was. So, Jesus Christ, I got to remember now. Damn it. Alfie Lloyd, Paul Smith, Ilya Sher, Alfie Lloyd, Sanayulu, and Isaac. Got them all right. Got them all right without looking. John says where to watch. Well, go onto QPR website, you insert your card details, and you can watch it. The goal was against Sunderland. Was it against Sunderland? I'm sure I said Sunderland, or did I say someone else? Isaac on the ball. Adamson. Alright, Isaac on the ball. Norwich J Guitars. Right, Paul Smith on the ball now. Sees Adamson, who's pushed into the middle. This is interesting. Jimmy Dunn. With his red boots. Isaac, chair. Passes out wide to Boy Camper. Back to Isaac into the middle. Isaac sees Jimmy. Oh, unlucky. Is that Kieran Morgan or Jimmy in the box? Jeez. Seed says who scored the 6. It was Alfie Lloyd, I think. Adamson's looked good tonight, but you got to remember it is against Bromley, so you know he's not really had a big challenging night, but you know sometimes a good performance like this makes you realize certain things in the sense of like what you really want to see. Like for example, right now he's just giving it away. Adamson has. Brahma beating Barcelona 1-0. I don't know who Brahma. Who's Birmingham? Are we on about Birmingham? QPR says sorry, but Morgan is useless. Oh man, wow, we're getting a lot of Morgan hating this season, are we, Ryan? I wonder what listen, look, I can't wait till next week, till Millwall, because you guys, whoever's new into this chat, right? Whoever's new here, right? 100% you're gonna meet Patrick. No, not Patrick, Robert. You're gonna meet Robert. Patrick's a Canadian guy who has similar views, but Robert. Anyone that's new in this, oh, hang on, Paul Smith's in here. Handball, penalty, QPR. So yeah, if you're new into this chat, Ryan will know, Foley will know, anyone else, like whoever's been in the chat last season, you're probably going to find out who Robert is, you know, and Robert is a great character, a great QPR character fan, you know, a very lively guy, so look, I don't know if he's going to be in the chat next week, like, for example, he's probably watching and not tuned, obviously not saying anything, but I would say he's going to be there for the Millwall game for sure. He will be in the chat for Millwall. So I would sit and say you lot are probably going to meet Robert next week in chat. So very great character. Very funny guy. So yeah. Alright, Alfie Lloyd wants his hat-trick. He's got the ball. Daniel Benny on the bench against Rangers. Okay, not bad. Not bad. So I'm going to have to watch Dundee a lot next season now. Number 77 shirt. Alright, Alfie Lloyd, can he get his hat trick? If he does get him the title, then freaking heck. Do you know what? We'll probably watch like would you, right? Okay, I'll ask this, right? And you guys might not like it, I don't know. But you see if we send players out on loan that we can watch. Do you think we should do the watch along if they're playing? 7-0. Not Daniel Benny. Alfie Lloyd getting his hat trick on the spot. A good game for him tonight if he is going out on loan. So yeah. 7-0. Absolutely buzzing for it. Well, that makes up for the Coventry 7-1, I guess. So, yeah. Seed says I'd watch. Yeah, look, I was thinking of doing it. I'm not going to lie. I was thinking of doing where if we get the time, obviously, if QPR ain't playing and we have a loanee at a club, maybe we should do the watch along, but we won't call it like Celtic or this. We'll do Lone watch along or whatever. I don't know. Not in National League. No, I know that, Seed. I know that. Look, National League, probably people won't watch it, but yeah. I bet Sabine says I bet on both teams to score. Alright, 7-0. Cleared away. Teddy says just come back. What the fuck, 7-0? Yep, 7-0. It is. Adam, I'll be honest, I don't really know what to say about Fuentes because, listen, look, I love the character. I love the person in the sense of who he was, but his tactics just couldn't do it for the championship. You could see that because it never succeeded at Leicester, you know? He's obviously been sacked at 2 championship clubs. And look, he's a great character. Do I miss Marty? Yeah, of course I do. But at the end of the day, he wasn't doing anything for us. SSD, you don't need to keep saying you're not gonna like No, it's not. It's just how I say things. It's how I say things. I can't help it, you know. It's just how I say things. It's a word that, you know, when you say like there's a certain thing that you say and it's usually common with you. Like I used to say a lot, you know. And you're not the first person to actually bring that up about I'm not gonna lie. It's just how I say things, unfortunately. So yeah. But look, what I was saying is that Mike Fuentes obviously is not a championship manager. You know, he can't do anything. You know, his philosophy was be patient with the ball, set pieces, get the ball into the box by crosses, big striker, whoever it is, and go from there. But it didn't work. So at the end of the day, Leicester fans got fed up of it. Our fans got fed up of it. Well, not fed up of it, but yeah. Lone Ranger Watchalong sounds good, Whitehall. That's actually a good title. Alright, we made subs. The young midfielder, I can't remember who that is now who's come on. We'll find out in a second. But 2 subs have come on. Sanaulu's definitely come off. Marty or Julian? Julian all the way. Julian definitely all the way. Alright, it's a long throw by Bromley. I don't know who come on and off. I think Jalen Pearman came on and another guy came on. I can't remember who the other guy is. Paul Smith's moved over to the right. Oh, just clicking the fingers, man. Jeez. Alright, Charles on the ball. Oh, it's a good pick out to see Adamson like that. What a player Charles is, honestly, in goal. He's called for it as well, man. Look, he's pushing with the ball. It's like watching Jogger Benito days. What do you think will be the next Julian Stefan chant? I have no idea. No idea what's going to happen with Chance and Julian. The French man, maybe? I don't know. Something like that. Oh, it's a bad pass. It's a bad pass. Unlucky. Alright, 71 minutes gone anyway. Well, 72 minutes gone. And, yeah, throwing to Bromley here. 7-0's calmed down a little bit. 2 subs have come on. It's going to be good to see Jalen Pearman on the pitch. Charles on the ball. Takes a touch. Good play. Sees Adamson. Would there be another goal? I don't know, mate. I reckon there will be for sure. Because we're on fire. Isaac sees Boy Kemper on the left wing. What a ball. Alright. Boy Kemper sees the youngster. Back to Boy Kemper. Back to the youngster. I don't know who this is. I'll be honest. I think this is Scarlet. Is it Scarlet? Oh! Unlucky Adamson. It's going to be QPR's ball still, though. Isaac sees Jalen Pearman. Good play there by Jalen Pearman. Good 1-2s here. Kieran Morgan. Oh, he sees Jalen again. Cleared away. He's big. Oh, God's sake. Oh, unlucky. It's going to be a throw into QPR, I think. Yep. This is mad. Kiefer Moore maybe will move to Leeds or Sunderland. That's crazy if that happens, but I don't think it will. I'll be honest. I don't know how. Damn, I don't know how old he is. But... Alright, Bromley were on the attack there. Sorry, people. He loves bang. Okay, now you're all coming out with songs now. Jeez. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, like, there's been some stupid shit on Twitter lately with rumors with random people just saying some stupid shit, bruv, on rumors. Alright. Bromley on the ball, though. Good defense there. And Scarlett gives it to Alfie Lloyd. Scarlett plays it back to Boy Kemper. You missed the almighty chant. Fair enough. David says anyway. Wait, hang on. Oh, hang on. Paul Smith in the box. Crosses it. It's a bad cross. Anyway, Benny won't do anything for Dundee as he is playing for Dundee United. I don't get that, David. I don't get that. Okay. Could you explain? I was never anti Joe Walsh and really wanted him to do well at QPR, but I have 100% faith with keeper Charles with the ball at Lee feet. I think, you know what? Listen, look. You're allowed to say what you're allowed to say at the end of the day, Lee. You're allowed to say what you want to say, because I can sit here and say it. You know, I think I could sit here and say that I see why he's gone out on loan. You know, I can see why the reason was. So look, I'm not saying Joe Walsh is shit, but I just don't think he's suited or had any experience in Julian's way. So yeah. Adam says, nah, it should be Julian. Stefan had a dream to build a football team with American owners and a wonder kid from Glasgow done. Oh, flipping out. Adam's coming out with songs now. Jeez. Well, you're all coming out with songs. Jesus Christ. Right, Sutton on. Good to see Sutton come on, and I think someone else came on. I think it was Escudina. Not Escudina. Lakesh, I'm getting confused there. Two teams in Dundee. I know there's two teams. So you got Dundee United and Dundee. What other Dundee is it? Two Dundee teams. So you have Dundee FC and Dundee United, you do. So he's gone to Dundee United. Right, it's cleared away by the keeper for Bromley. Right, it's a good through ball to Alfie Lloyd, who's doing the bizzo in the box. What's he going to do with it? He shoots and he misses. He should have passed it to Sutton there. That was greedy. What's that smell? What's that smell? Something's burning. I don't know what that smell is. Fucking hell, it's doing my head in though. What do you guys think of that chant? Keen says appreciate it. Is someone putting nail right? What are we doing? Right, Alfie Lloyd, I don't know what you're doing now. You're just being silly. Yeah, I don't know what Alfie Lloyd's doing. Alfie Lloyd, come on now, man. Too much now, too much. Come on, concentrate. Jack, listen, it doesn't smell like that. Do you know what I'm smelling right now? And I think I know why it is. I'm smelling like, you know, like nail varnish kind of thing. Someone in the house is putting nail varnish on, I think. Right. Charles on the ball now. 10 minutes to go roughly. And it's a good delivery to Adamson. Kieran Morgan running down the right wing. Adamson stops that though. Isaac on the ball. Jimmy Dunn to Jake Clark-Salter. Emerson Sutton down the wing. Oh, what a ball, what a run. Unlucky Sutton, unlucky. Hopefully he gets some opportunities this season. Alright, it's a long ball forward. Jimmy Dunn on the ball. Plays it back to Charles. It's QPR on fire, mate. Probably, Whitehall, probably. Alright. Jimmy Dunn on the ball. It's not. The computer just... Listen, look, I'm going to be honest with you. The computer is probably one of the best computers, not in the world, but one of the best, you know. I've had it pre-built for me, and I am a gamer, so it's got the best graphics card, it's got the best CPU, it's got the best cooling system. So yeah, it's definitely not the PC, because the PC's not even hot. The PC's cold, and because the way I have it built. Hang on, what does it say? For some reason, I can't see Sutton in a Stockport shirt or Hartlepool shirt. I don't know, Jackie, I don't know. I can see, oh, I can see. Alright, Sutton on the ball now. Good ball into Isaac in the middle. Kieran Morgan back to Isaac. Oh, that's a good, lovely ball to Lakesh. And it's going to be a goal kick to Bromley. Adam says, damn. Boy Camper fucking magic, he wears the magic. Oh god, another chant from Adam. Yeah, someone's putting it's nail varnish for sure. Yeah. Someone's putting nail varnish in my house. What the fuck, man? It's like paint stripper, what the fuck? Oh man. Oh Jesus Christ, that stinks. Jeez. Oh. And it's not coming from my ass, I know that. You would have heard that. Oh man, hasn't scored with his right foot yet. I don't think I can't remember what foot he did score with, to be honest. Right, Bromley keeper clears it. Alright, it's headed. Oh, it's just brilliant. Charles, go on. What are you gonna do with it? Good play. Back to Adamson. Plays it into the middle to Sutton. Clark-Salter. Come on, mate. Do something with it. Do something. Do something. Yes. Jimmy Dunn. Go on. Right. Playing it really well. Jalen Pearman trying to call for it. The long ball. Over the top. Go on, Sutton. Well played. Well played. Well played. Adamson. Don't lose it, you absolute... Oh. Yeah. Who said Adamson had a good game? DB, what time you live tomorrow? Jack says. Oh god, what time's the game? That's the question. What time's the game tomorrow, people? Oh wait, it's TBD. It's not been announced. It's not been announced. So I don't know what time. I'm gonna have to look what time it starts. So yeah. Do you think Justin Obuku would be a good next season? Adam says, yeah. Listen, look, he's shown promising signs already, but it's down to obviously if he plays. Ryan says Charles' possibility is better than most midfielders. I probably agree with that. Where to watch the match on QPR website, mate? It's £5 for the game, I believe, or whatever it is for the rest of this preseason. Ryan says 3 o'clock. All right, so if it's 3 o'clock, if we get any news, then I will come on early around 2:30. But if there's no news, I'll jump on at 2:45. If not, if we do like something, then I'd probably say 2 o'clock. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Oh, Bromley has a lot of effort there. But that's gonna be a crazy stream tomorrow, man. Right. Just over 5 minutes to go. Alright. Jay Clark saw on the ball. Damn. Do you know what, man? What the fuck? Who's putting... Oh, what a ball by Sutton. Jesus Christ. Lakesh. Oh, go on. Someone shoot. Someone shoot. Oh, why didn't you? Should have laid it off, Sutton. Unlucky. Jimmy. Ah, oh, it's a bad touch by Jimmy. Adam Ladry. Few. I don't. Right. Ain't you Adam Ladry? I don't know what that means, to be honest. I don't know what that means. I assume it could be a QPR stadium or too early for him. Who remembers Ethan Laird? Yeah, Ethan Laird was a baller, mate. Ethan Laird was a baller. Right, it's long by Bromley. Oh, they've done well there. I think it's gonna stay 7-0, boys. I think. Oh, it's a bad touch there by Bromley, and it's Putman on. Did Putman is Putman on the bench? Was Putman on the bench? Or did Adamson have a haircut? Right, Isaac on the ball, plays it back to Charles. Oh, good. Yeah. Oh, that's a dangerous challenge. That is a dangerous challenge. He's got to be booked for that. He's got to be booked. I know it's pre-season, but wow. Come on, you can't do that in pre-season. He's just come on as well. What are you doing, you idiot, bruv? What are they doing, man? Why would you do that to a youngster like that? Just stupid, man. It's a friendly game and you're going in like that. Come on. No need for it. That is Putman, right? Am I mistaking it wrong? That is Putman. Young, exciting Putman. Alright, so gone straight to... Who is that? Is Putman playing as a defensive mid? Oh wait, hang on, this is a different style of play. Wizard Fireball says 7-1. Good play here, Isaac. Chair's gone off, I think. Chair's gone off, I think. It's a good run out for Leon Scarlett, this is. Because Leon Scarlett apparently is going to be the future for us. Alright, it's a good ball. Put Sutton in the box. Shoots. Unlucky, just goes over the bar. Good attempt. Why not? Nothing wrong with that, Sutton. Nothing wrong with that. You know, Sutton has got his hair like Eze at the moment. Has anyone realised that? I don't know what they're trying to tell us. Wish that Ashley Trudeau was given some minutes in pre-season. He's only 16 though, mate. He's only 16, I believe. So, yeah. But he's going to be a great talent if we can keep hold of him. Sato has had a good pre-season in my opinion, but I don't know. He might be injured at the moment. They haven't put an update at all whatsoever so far. It was a free kick to Bromley. Putman. Wait, hang on. There's too many. Wait, hang on. Putman. There's too many players. What? Sutton is the next. I said that, to be honest. I said that. Look. I don't know who this Diego Luna is. Apparently it was a free transfer. I think he's gone. I think Diego Luna has gone to a different club in America, I think. Jesus Christ. Whoever is using nail varnish. Wow. What the hell? That is... Wow. You might as well fucking get the petrol out and fucking... Wow. Honestly. Damn it. Right. Less than a minute to go. I don't think there's going to be any added time. There might actually be, because it was seven goals, for crying out loud. But it's a free kick. It's time to prove Charles what he can do. It's just gone, missed completely. So yeah, goal kick. I don't know how many minutes are going to be added. Do you know who I would go in for? It's the youngster, the Cambridge youngster. I can't remember his name. Keane says, shut your windows. It's not even the windows. It's coming from inside the house, because I know it is, because I know who it is. Oh, full time. Okay, full time. Jesus Christ. All right, fair enough. Right, so full time. QPR beat Bromley 7-1 away from home on the preseason friendly. Goals from, I believe, Ilishare, the first one. Paul Smith, the second. And I can't remember. Alfie Lloyd, the third. And then half time. And then I believe Alfie Lloyd has scored obviously 2 goals in the second half. That makes it 5. Isaac makes it 6. And Saniolu scored, made it 7. 7-0. Great game. Honestly, great game. I'm happy to see it. You know, we've played some youngsters tonight. For me, man of the match goes to Isaac for sure. Even though, look, I know Thingy scored a hat-trick, but Isaac has been phenomenal in midfield of pre-season, honestly. You know, good signs there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow now. I'm really genuinely still looking forward to tomorrow. And then we got Millwall next week, pretty much first game of the season. So, yeah, look, great pre-season game tonight. Good win. Good to see some youngsters play. But, yeah, we'll be live tomorrow. We will. Highlight of the night, Isaac's bicycle kick, I guess is the only way to say it. But to see this performance, honestly, it wasn't the greatest performance, but we're showing promise and confidence in where we're going next season. So listen, I'm not gonna keep it a long match reaction or talk, but you know, big things to come next season, I would say. You know, great game, great start to the game, and yeah, we just leave it there. You know what? There's nothing really much to say. It's only a preseason game. I've said what I felt about the game, the goals and stuff like that. We'll probably talk about it more on Sunday. Also, we've got tomorrow's game as well, so stay tuned for tomorrow. We'll be live tomorrow for AFC Wimbledon at 3 p.m. Before we go, shout outs to you guys as always. Killed another stream yet again. Our aim for the likes was 30. We ain't just there yet. We're at 26 likes. If you can hit the like button, much appreciated. It does help the stream push. But look, happy for you guys, man. I want to say thank you for tuning in, or to all you guys. I would shout everyone, all the names, but I'm not going to, man. It's just too many people now in the chat. So look, thanks to all you guys for tuning in, man. I appreciate it a lot. You know, you guys been amazing preseason yet again, and honestly, we're gonna have another great season. But yeah, if you enjoyed the stream, hit the like button. It does help the content push. Subscribe if you want to. Peace, love, positivity as always, and we'll catch you tomorrow for AFC Wimbledon. Don't forget, be there, be sharp, and we'll catch you soon. Have a good night, people. We'll be on Twitch later on, the Coach DB, as it is, says there in the bottom left corner. So if you want to watch some gameplay or anything like that, we'll be live on Twitch. So we'll catch you in a bit. Catch you in a bit, people.